Shalom Abracha from Yerushalayim. We have completed Kaddish Yeheh Shelama following Shir Shel Yom, and now we are beginning the final section of the prayer, the Kaveh, the Ketoret, followed by Kaddish Al Yisrael, Al Barechu, and Al Shabbeach. As I mentioned, these last two sections were Minhagim that evolved over time. In particular, the Ketoret began about 500 years ago, and while you won't find it in Mahzor Aram Soba printed in 1527, nonetheless, it has become part of the prayer. We do not skip it. We say it in its entirety and everything that's printed in the Siddur until after Aleinu L'Shabbeach. Now, there's a couple of practices I did want to discuss that we've been seeing more frequently in recent years. One is that when the Ketoret begins, a lot of people pull out of their kuracha a klaf, and they read Ketoret from a parchment. Now, this is not a custom. It's certainly not our custom, but not a custom of any community. This is an individual segula, and I'm certainly not going to speak to the merits of segulot in general, or this segula in particular, only to say that it's something we've never seen, not by our fathers, our grandfathers, hachamim, mekubalim. Never have we seen this practice. In fact, the writing of such a klaf is a problem halachically. Those who are interested in reading about it further, Chacham Ovadia Yosef, Alav Shalom writes about it in Yabiya Omer Halek Tet. The second practice is a little more important to discuss because it involves the kahal, and that is when we say Tana Develiyahu Kol Hashana Alachot Bechol Yom. More and more minyanim now you'll see that the Hazan stops, and a lay person or a hacham will get up and read a few halachot and explain a few halachot to the kahal. Now, this is a very, very strange and problematic custom on many levels. I'm not going to get into halachically whether it's permissible, whether it's considered Torah Sibur. We'll leave that up to the hachamim. I know that even from the Talmud, they're very particular not to even add minutes unnecessarily to the Tefillah. And I'm not going to discuss the Kabbalistic ramifications. People who are involved in the study of Kabbalah have told me that it may pose a problem, as the Tefillah is a very structured in a very specific order according to the Kabbalah, and stopping to study Torah may be problematic. Again, beyond the scope of my comprehension. What I do want to discuss is from a point of view of a worshiper or a gabbai. Here we're stopping the tefillah and we're doing something which easily could be done after Aleinu Shabbeach. Now, in fact, I prayed with Chacham Ovadia Yosef Alav Shalom many times. Never did he stop the tefillah in the middle to read halachot. After Aleinu Shabbeach, he would indeed take out the Harambam and begin reading halachot to the kahal, and we also have other ahronim which mention this practice. We've never seen through 1,000 years of the Hachamim in Halab, and if you just cumulatively all of the kehilot that we know of in the world, never did we see this minhag. And it's odd that you would have a person who chooses a minyan carefully based on the time it starts, based on the time it ends, because people have to go to work, especially in the weekdays, they have to take the kids to school, they have to do errands. People's time is very precious in the mornings. And that's what we make the tefillot. It's a gabbai's job to make sure the tefillah is consistent and efficient. And here we have a situation where a person is now forced, captive audience, to sit through halachot, which he could choose after the tefillah to do the same thing. It's the same time. In fact, Joey Mosseri gave a very, very important video a few weeks ago about our custom to read Chok L'Yisrael after Aleinu Shabbeach. We get around a table, we read Mikra, Mishnah, Talmud, halachot. So this halakha is just this custom that has been increasingly done is just odd. I know from a worshiper's point of view, a lot of people even they have the obligation to say Kaddish Al Israel, they have a Hayyub, they have an obligation. And now they can't leave because they have to say Kaddish. But they can't stay because they have to go to work. So it poses I think it's Gabayim have to be sensitive, and they have to be sensitive to the needs of all the congregants, whether they verbally express it or not. Anything which can be done after Al Shabeach. And by the way, I think the same goes for announcements, for raising money for worthy causes. Not in the Tefillah. Zman Tefillah lehud. Let's keep the Tefillah consistent and complete. Let's finish the Tefillah, and then afterwards we could engage in other issues which are important. Following the Tanad B'Eliyahu, we have Kaddish Al Israel, which is said by someone who has an obligation. If there's nobody, then of course the Hazan has to say it. Barechu, which was instituted for those who forgot, who weren't there at the earlier Barechu, so Hachamim instituted it here. Again, the Halabiyah don't necessarily have to do like this when they say Barechu. They can if they want. Alenu L'Shabeach, we're not obligated to stand up. I know it's the custom for many people to stand up. It's fine, but when I was growing up, I just want to point out that not everybody stood up. Many people, elderly people older people did not stand up, and not obligated to. After Al Shabeach, we have Ubturaticha Adonai Katu Lemor Shema Yisrael Adonai Elenu Adonai Echad. It wasn't printed in many of the Sidurim when I was growing up. It was printed in the Sidur of Halab in 1915, so, and not all Hazanim say it. If you say it, fine. If you don't say it, it's not crucial. After that, we do not say any Mizmorim. It's the custom in Halab not to say any Mizmor after Alenu L'Shabeach. What we do say when we exit the synagogue, just as there was a pasuk when we enter, the following pasuk in Tehillim Perek He, we say when we exit, Adonai neheni b'sitkatecha leman shorerai hayshar lefanai darkecha, meaning Borei Olam, we're beseeching Borei Olam to guide us in His just ways with the zechut leman shorerai, the zechut of the prayer which I have just recited. Hayshar lefanai darkecha, keep me on the straight and narrow. Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll see you in a few weeks. Kol Tuv.